Is map reading a wilderness survival skill? Yeah, of course it is. Our ancestors was using maps hundreds of years ago to travel the globe and into wilderness situations, exploring and all that. So if they were using maps, then we should definitely be using maps. If you go into the wilderness without a map and a compass and you get lost, you're in effect plunging yourself back into the Stone Age. And if you can't gather food, make a shelter and get water, and you can't get out of the situation straight away, you're going to die. You know, people die like this. So if you ever go into the wilderness, always take a map and know how to use it as well, and a compass as well. So what I'm going to do now is give you an introduction to the British Ordnance Survey maps. This is the Explorer, and also what I'm going to do now is just go through the outside and why it's folded the way it is. So first of all, it's got a name. It's the name of the area. This one is Dartmoor. It's also got a serial number, OL28, and there's a little name there, OS Explorer, that's Ordnance Survey, and just there, you probably can't see it, is the scale, which is a 1 in 25,000, and I'll go into more detail of that a little later. It's got a nice picture there as well. On the back, it's got a picture of a little part of the southwest of England, a little bit of Wales there as well, and the highlighted bit is the part of the land that this map is covering. And I don't know whether you can see there in the center, it says OL28, and all the rest of them have got their numbers in as well to help you find what you're looking for. So you wanted that one there, you know it's 142, and so on. And this bit here is just a quick overview of the paths in the area, and it's got a list here of what the names of the paths. The design can change over the years, so but it's going to be basically like this. Okay, that's the outside. Now why is it folded all zigzaggy like this? Well, I'll tell you why. Because when you look at it, you can read it like a newspaper in a way. And if you want to look at the other bit, you can do the same. Okay, and when you get to the bit that you want, you can fold it into a nice little square like that, and you've got a control of it. In say you're in on a windy hillside or a windy mountain, or on the lowland as well, instead of a windy day, and you've got the map out like this and the wind is blowing, you know, and you're not quite in control of it, so and it'll impair your map reading as well. So and I've got this upside down. Never mind. So that's the reason why it's folded like that. And also there's another reason. Say you got the page that you want. Oh, I've got it the right way now, and that's the page you want. Because it's a paper map, or this particular one's a paper map, if you've got a waterproof cover, a good one like this, then it's going to be the same size as the map. See, like that. So you put it inside the cover and it marries up nicely. So there you go, and then you hang it around your neck or something, preferably that way because it'll be around your neck. But there you go, you can put it inside the cover and that marries up nicely with that. So that's why it's folded in that way, sort of a zigzaggy way. I'll show you from the end. It's folded horizontally first of all. Okay, I'll just see if I can open that up. There you go, it's double-sided, this particular map. It's folded horizontally, and then it's folded in like that, then that way, then that way, and then that way, and so on. Okay, now you're only looking at one side of the map here. If you want to look at the other side, then you've got to fold it the other way. So you've got to open it up, that's the other side, fold it horizontally again. I'll prove it's on the other side because this side's got the legend there. So it didn't have the legend before we was looking at that side in there. So, and again, you just fold it up, same, on the same folds, in a zigzaggy fashion, and believe it or not, it still folds up the same as what it was before. So that's a clever ordnance survey. So there you go. And again, you can then read the side that you want then, and get the part you want, fold it up, and then stick it in your waterproof cover if you need to. Okay, the map scale 1 in 25,000 means 1 centimetre on the map is 25,000 centimetres in real life. Now you can't really use that practically, but what you could do is take the 2 noughts off the end of the 25,000, and then you've got 250. So then 1 centimetre on the map equals 250 metres in real life. And 250 metres is 1/4 of a kilometre. Or you can change the 1 centimetre to 1 millimetre, and then take the 3 noughts off the end of the 25,000, which leaves you with 25. So then 1 millimetre on the map equals 25 metres in real life. So now you know how to use the map scale in a practical sense. This can help you with your map reading with reference to distance travelling or distance away from something. Next up is the legend. Now the legend is a key to all the little symbols on the map. And what is a map to start off with? Well, it's a 2-dimensional picture of a bird's eye view of the 3-dimensional world. So and I'm not going to go through every symbol, just the headings. Okay, so first off, roads and paths. At the very bottom you've got black dotted line and it says path. Okay, so black dotted line is a path. That path is, it's a bit of an undefined path, but it's there nevertheless. Okay, the proper paths that the walker wants to know is in green. There's different types. There's the bridleway and the byway and all that, but it's all on the map here and it's in green. There are some more paths in orange and a bridleway as well. They're open to the landowner's permission only, so you can go across it, but the landowner has right to close it off. Next up, general information. The most interesting here is the features of woods and the other parts of the ground. So you've got your coniferous trees, non-coniferous trees, bracken and marshes. That's the most interesting really to the walker. And general features up here where you've got your youth hostel and bunkhouses, a triangulation pillar or trig point for short, which you can find on top of hills and mountains. It's like a concrete block basically. Let's have a look. Right, selected tourist and leisure information. Well, all the little blue symbols here. You've got your information, different types of phones, camping and caravanning as well, viewpoints, and there's lots of others. There's a walking trail, the footprint sort of thing there, cycle trails or cycle hire. Oh, there's a pub, which is a little pint pot, but I'm not going to go through all of it. If you want to know all the symbols, then you'll have to buy a map yourself and have a look. The next point is the National Grid Reference System. Now that's a system where you can use the numbers on the edge here and on the edge here to pinpoint where you are, tell someone where you are within these little squares. Okay, so I'm not going to read it out, but it says here, first quote eastings, then it says, and then quote northings. Okay, so those who know how to do a grid reference, 6-figure grid reference, or a 4, first quote eastings, which is these ones with the line corresponding, and then quote northings, which is these numbers here with the line corresponding. Okay, now I've got a separate film on, a separate video on that, and I'll put it at the end if you want to see it, which is if you're a tourist coming into this country and you're going to the hills, it's worth knowing this, because if you get lost, you can tell the authorities where you are. So let's have a look. Right, there's three norths on this map. Yeah, there's magnetic north, because of the Earth's tilt. The magnetic north in this country is pointing sort of towards Canada, roughly. Grid north is a fictitious north, and it's the grid, the Ordnance Survey grid. Okay, the line going upwards on the map. So that's grid north, and true north is going towards the North Pole. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say about the legend. That's all you need to know for now. It's just an introduction. If you want to know it more, then you have to buy a map and have a look yourself. But the legend, it will be there on the maps. They do change design now and again. It's not always a square like this. Sometimes it's on the edge, what have you, but the symbols will stay the same. Okay. Next up is a general overview of the whole map. So to start off with, you got your numbers along the edge here, like I said before. Well, as you go up, they will repeat, and as you go on up, they'll repeat again. And the same with the numbers on the edge. You go across and they will repeat. There's a set there, and as you go along, they'll repeat again. Okay, go along. Now this map is covered in grid squares, and the little blue lines, and if you can see the grid square there, okay, from end to end, up and down, they're 1 kilometre long, or 1,000 meters if you like, and corner to corner they're 1.5 kilometers. Okay. Now next up, you've got your little streams going along, and they'll have a name on them as well most of the time, and even smaller streams going off on the main stream. And also you might have noticed there's a white area and like a creamy coloured area. Well, on this particular map, this white area is a training area for the military. Now, they don't train every day on it, but they've got ranges and stuff, and when they do train, you're not allowed on. So what you need to do, if you're going along this bridleway, nice well-defined path, and it's going on to the danger area, what you need to do is have a look at this bit of writing here in red. It says danger area, and then it's got a website you can look up, or a free phone number that you can phone to find out whether the military are training on that day that you want to walk across it. Okay, so if they are training, you can, and you can't walk across there, you'll know to replan, I suppose. These little red dots are boundary lines, and when you come across these boundaries, you'll see posts going along, and it'll have a sign on the post that saying you're entering a military area anyway. Anyway, that's the post, and that's the danger area with a military train. Now this creamy coloured bit is the moorland and the mountains. Okay, and if you look very closely, little tiny slivers, you might not be able to see, it'll show whether it's the bogland or bracken. Now the bogland is sort of in blue, and the bracken is sort of little green slivers. Now if you're walking across there, it's good to know this, because if you're walking across, you don't want to walk into that bogland. So if you ever go across country off the path, then have a really good close up at the symbols, just in case you're going into bogland. You don't want that. You'll have to go back the other way then, and it gets exhausting. Next up is the woodland. These green patches here, that's the woods. If you look very carefully, they have little pictures of trees, and that'll tell you whether it's a coniferous tree or a coniferous woods or a non-coniferous woods. Okay. Next up is contour lines. I've got a little bit on this video about contour lines. It goes into better detail, and that'll show you the slopes and the hills, how steep they are and what have you. And also you've got these symbols here, on each corner of the map, which is a little coded number, which is part, a little coded 2 letters code, which is part of the national grid system in Britain, in the UK, which is 100 kilometers by 100 kilometers square. I'll show you that a little later as well on this video. So I think that's all I can say about that for now. Let's go into the details of the contour lines. Now the contour lines on a map may look similar to this, and each contour line will contour the same height above sea level wherever it goes. Now on the map I showed you, the contour lines are in 10-meter intervals. So every time the ground rises 10 meters, there will be a contour line. Now every 5th contour line is slightly thicker than the others. Or you could say every 50 meters there's a thick contour line. Now there is a way of working the slope angle from counting the thick contour lines within a 1 centimeter gap. So when you're looking at the contour lines like this, how do you know if you're looking into a hole in the ground or a hill? Well, if you look on the right hand side, you'll see the heights per meter, and on the right hand side it says 200 meters and 210 meters, 220, 230 and so on. Well, that indicates then that you're going uphill. So you're now looking at a hill. Also, the top of the numbers indicate uphill. And finally, when the contour lines are close together, this indicates a steep slope. And when the contour lines are far apart, this indicates a more gradual slope, as you can see here. And finally, this shows the Ordnance Survey's national grid. Now, each square is 100 kilometers by 100 kilometers, but each square is not each map. And inside each square, on land that is identified by a 2-letter code. And this 2-letter code is in the 4 corners of the map, which I showed you earlier. And this 2-letter code should be quoted when given a grid reference if you're calling someone outside of your circle, like the emergency services. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about the British Ordnance Survey maps. If you want to know more, then really you need to do a course or see someone that knows how to use these maps face to face and get with them shoulder to shoulder and get them to show you more details. I can't show you any more because the video will get boring otherwise. So I hope this little video helps you out, and thanks for watching, and stay safe. Cheers.